Welcome to Deep Night Revelation. We will be picking up where we left off last week. Um, these guys are on a. They've discovered a planet in their endeavor of refueling as they are crossing the Great Rift. They have named this planet DTP, but one of the. Well, they didn't name it. The sensor operators, uh, who are curmudgeons, named it. And that stands for Death Trap, probably. And there were three interesting locations on the southern continent. The first being what was termed the High Valley, which they have now explored and discovered that there is a race of hominid, I guess you could say. And from what they can tell from cave writings, these hominids, probably not, um, probably not native to this world, but they're not sure about that. But they're very proto-human like, and they are currently regressed to a non-intelligent animal state. But they did meet one that is simply going by the name myself, that is of greater intelligence, almost definitely sentient, almost human intelligence, and very lonely because he's the only one. And the animal ones keep killing all of the intelligent ones. But they found some rock paintings that show that this little civilization of hominids was at one time way smarter than they currently are. And there was a city that the cave paintings really made it look like there were ships landing and taking off from the city, and it is in a location known as the Menagerie Plains. And then there was another site where the science division was wanting to do some animal research over here in an area called the Really Big Marsh. And there is this river, the Really Big River, that runs through the basically through the Menagerie Plains and down or north to the coastline where Really Big Marsh is. And so where we left off, these guys were going to go check out the Menagerie Plains and see what was going on over there. Before we get started, we would like to bring your attention to the fact that we have a merch store via Zazzle. Uh, the there are oh boy, there's a bunch of stuff on there. There's T-shirts and hoodies and buttons and drinkware and poster maps and all sorts of stuff. And 100% of the proceeds from that store goes directly back into the channel. It helps cover things like Roll20 Pro subscription, Incarnate Pro subscription, things of that nature. All the little mishmash of subscriptions that seem little by themselves until they all come due at the end of the month. So if you want to help us out with that, go get yourself a Whiskey Rocks glass and a T-shirt, and we appreciate everything you do for us. All right, so couple of things. The first, and probably should have brought this up for. So, and actually, this is a good time because Pappy's back with us. But part of the so when you guys are in the process of overhauling your ships. So the second planet in this system is a high density world that has a bunch of good stuff, ore and nickel, platinum, silver, iron, all of that stuff. Plus, it also has a bunch of exotic materials, and they are in the process of basically overhauling your small craft. But for your science ship, there is a new software package, honestly, I should have included this before, and it escaped me. But now that they've come out with the 2025 update to the Great Rift, I perused through the new update files, and it drew my attention to this. And so this is a software package for planetology that I would think that your scout ship would have access to. I would imagine you probably have The highest one, planetology /3, TL13. So that will give you a +3 bonus to any time you guys are in orbit around a world. And we could just go ahead and write this off as saying that this is a part of the upgrade to these ships, or refit. It's not an upgrade; it's a refit. This is part of your refit. So there's
Well,
that.
that's really nice.
Yeah. So there is.
Seems handy.
There is that.
Yeah.
For science and stuff. Well, there is another software package. So as you guys are seem to be continually picking up, wayward bastards that are left on the planet by themselves, or decide that they want to come along with you, you have to teach these individuals. This software package may help with that in some cases. It is the mentor software package. And this basically will cut down the time that is required in training somebody who's being trained to be like a research assistant. But I don't know why it would have to be just a research assistant. I would think that you would have mentor programs all across the ship, or at least available, and they could probably be programmed to almost anything in the anything for any particular crew position. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is that. This package actually reminds me a lot of that tutoring expert program that helps you study for your study period. This reminds me a lot of that. So there's that. For somebody like Bocephus, there is a research assistance software package.
Wow.
So, this can do, data research in the back. You can tell it to do the data research, and it'll just sit there and do it. You don't have to, babysit it, theoretically.
Right. Yeah. I love that.
And
like we can put that research package right up onto that motherfucking fusion reactor type thing we got from the ancients.
Yes.
And just let that motherfucker ride, right?
Correct. And then there's a science library package, and it can be tuned to the TL11, or rather TL12 is a general package, so it basically knows a little bit of something about all sciences. At tech level 11, it's more specific to individual, and so Bocephus theoretically could have a science software package that is science psioncology, for instance. And it just has a complete data pack that is based around that particular science. And then you can at TL12 at TL13 you can get an advanced version that does even more. So it's DM +2 instead of the +1. So it's a little bit bigger and knows a bit more. But there's that. So all the clusterfucks that have happened, basically, and a lot of that has to do with hotshot pilots and wear and tear on the ships. But this is the software package that is used by your flight crews. Basically, it helps you be a air traffic controller.
Okay.
So, which I would think would come in real handy when you have that many small craft all zipping around the ship at once.
Oh, yeah. Especially with refuelings and shit where there's really lots of traffic of, just...
Yeah. I mean, when you got something like 30 boats in the air at once, that's got to be a little crazy. And last but not least, this is where basically what your base camps look like.
It's not camping if it's not in a tent.
That's right. That's what I always said.
Yeah. It's just visiting a remote location. It's not really camping. But yeah, That's what I'd want to be in.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a little lab in it. It's got a garage for a small vehicle. I mean, not a big deal for the vehicle. It's like, what, 5 shipping tons? I don't even know if you guys have anything that small, but it's there. I mean, nobody parks their vehicle in the garage anyways.
No.
That's where they store all their shit.
But I mean, it would be great to go.
Like someone on the West Coast, not in frost country, like here.
Yes. That's true.
It'd be great to drop those off when we do these remote locations and stuff. You know?
Yes.
I mean, have a little bit of the comfort of home.
Right. Yes. Yes. And those base modules, you know, they can be specialized as far, so like one might have lab equipment in it, one could be dedicated to medical equipment. It doesn't matter what you put in it, so much. So, anyways, so Pappy, go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check.
Got here and you want me to fly? Yeah. Piloting plus dex. Small craft?
Yes. Oh, that came out a little small, didn't it? We'll need to fix that. All right. All right. So, Pappy, you are flying overhead, and you do pick up the the ground base landing beacon. Obviously, there's no port, and you set down, and with a 9, you do determine that the ground here is quite soft. It is. So what you guys are seeing is that as you were flying overhead, as Pappy's making his incoming landing, is that these plains are essentially, they're in the basin of several rivers. All of these are tributaries that kind of meet up with the really big Marsh River and flowing north. And the entire area is lush, what appears to be lush grasslands. There are several areas of trees. These darker areas are, of course, tree. Not, I wouldn't say forests, but there are several groves of trees, and everybody can make a recon plus intellect check.
I ain't see shit.
No.
I got a 9.
So, Mel, Sarda, and Bocephus kind of looking, up over the consoles and looking out the windows. You guys notice a couple of things. So, when the first thing that Bocephus notices is that the trees look a lot like trees that have been transplanted from old Earth. These are Terran They look like Terran varieties of trees. Maybe some variation, but you're seeing in this region, anyways. You're seeing a lot of what looks like oak trees. Obviously a lot of different varieties of pine, and these all, they don't look alien to you. I mean, they would be alien to you. They would be alien to probably most of you. I don't think any of you are Soleimani, if I remember correctly. But you've seen these before. They're very popular varieties that you wouldn't expect to be out here in the middle of nowhere. And this is yet another possibility. The initial idea was, there are the initial probes saw wildlife like the Smilodons and what they're referring to as pseudo mammoth, woolly mammoths. That the original thought process was, well, this must be parallel evolution. Just a quinky dink of nature that they also developed on this planet. But now you're seeing plant life that looks like this. Sarda and Mel. So Bocephus points out the trees, and you're looking at large areas of grassland. And Sarda, you notice even at this height. I mean, some of these grasses are growing, 6 feet tall, but you're seeing that some of these grasses look like wheat that just is overgrown. And
All right.
and then Mel, you see what appears to be corn-like stalks growing in these grasses as well. And again, the wheat is probably growing to a height of about 6 to 7 feet, while these corn stalks are growing, anywhere from 10 to 15 feet in height. Some of them are so high that they're leaning over. I mean, they're growing naturally. There's nobody here to harvest them, but that it looks all the world to you like corn. So,
and we ought to bring Smart Guy, myself, and drop him off over here. I mean, this is a food-rich environment.
yeah, myself is with you. Or Pappy. I don't think he was here.
Wait, we have a person named myself?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
he can't talk, but he's pretty smart.
So
yeah,
this is myself.
he
That's
is
right,
the
you did
eight.
say that.
Yeah,
You did say that. I just heard you say that. That's right.
yeah.
Yes.
He is the ape man.
8-man genius.
He is the walrus. Cuckoo,
Yes.
ka-choo.
Cuckoo, ka-choo.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, myself was really wanting to go with you guys because his people, the hominids, they're all, I don't want to say dumb, they're all animals. And from what they discovered in the cave that myself took you to, is that evidently he isn't the only one that has been born, but from the cave paintings you saw, what it looked like is these hominids regressed, and evidently every generation or so, a fully intelligent one is born to somebody, but the animalistic cavemen type hominids seem to they don't like nerds, and so they smash their skulls up in this cave. But these cave paintings were like basically a history, and it appears that they left from this city in the Menagerie Plains, went into the High Valley, hunted all of the more dangerous predator type animals to extinction, and then they lit off a couple of nuclear devices which caused the mountain to cave in, and it secluded that valley. And they had these little lake cities, and these guys also found an ancient fusion reactor, obviously in terrible shape, buried under several meters of silt. But they dug it up, and it is in your cargo hold, or what remains of it. And the scientists are going to want to take that back up to Revelation and pick through it to see what they can learn. But these hominids that are in the High Valley are all cavemen animals that they attacked the group as they were going through, throwing rocks and shit at them.
We have some of them though.
Well, some of them
Deepnight.
yeah, some of them have gone up to Deepnight Revelation because you guys shot them, and so
Can I send a message to the science crews there working there? I'd like them to run an analysis of their DNA. My off the top theory is that this is a problem from inbreeding, and they're probably transplanted by ancients a long time ago, and
Yeah, they
and,
can do
and
they can
they're
do a
all
DNA
fucked up
analysis.
from inbreeding. Yeah, so I'd like to get a scope on what the fuck.
Okay.
Well, when you said he wants to come with us, I'm not even sure he understands what the hell a spaceship is.
Um. Uh.
Like we're
That's
never
He
coming
just
back
wants
here.
to go
Like
wherever
ever.
we are.
Yeah. He. He's smart enough that he was able to figure out essentially the same information that you guys figured out from the cave paintings. He may not know what spaceships are or has ever seen one other aside from the one he's standing in right now. But the cave paintings essentially tell a story that I mean, if those were spaceships, at some point they went up and never came back down. And so he understands the idea of leaving, and probably understands that he would never see this place again. The other thing to keep in mind is he's never been outside of the High Valley at all. So this going to the Menagerie Plains, that's an entirely new experience for him too.
I don't have a problem bringing the dude. If he gets to be a problem, I mean, we can find solutions to his existence. I mean, but I mean,
well, we can always put a virtual reality headset on him and let him experience takeoff.
Yes.
oh man, I mean,
too much. We've
got Fallout videos for him to watch.
Put him in one of the Venture Brothers sleep learning beds.
That's right. Yeah. Teach him all about the fungus. Sleep bed.
So, Pappy, you I mean, you guys are seeing all of this grass, and there is a very I mean, it's really hard for you to see where to set down, but you do set the ship down, and the grass is basically giving, as the stalks bend over, it's actually giving you the ship support for landing, because the ground beneath is actually quite soft. Not as bad as the marsh, but this is still a fairly wet area. And this is a shirt sleeves environment. There's no need for respirators or vac suits or any of that. It is as almost typically Earth-like, except that the weather is a little bit more intense, rainy. Monsoons come through frequently, dumping a shit ton of rain. But yeah, you don't need any of that. So it says, once you're down on the ground, because of the height of the grass, obviously visibility is short because of the grass, and partly because there are stands of trees. Thermal and radar can cut through most of that, though. And you, around the base camp, you see that there are a couple of pinnaces. One of the pinnaces, the cargo hold, has been converted into one of these mobile base or base camp modules. The entire cargo compartment is filled with this thing, kind of in a permanent fashion. And you can see that there are a couple of scariers and a couple of rangers that are driving around. Evidently, the ground is fairly level. So they don't have the ground vehicle. You guys in your cargo hold have a Vendara that you haven't you thought to bring but haven't used it yet. The tree canopy in the High Valley was so thick that essentially getting in there, there wasn't even a landing spot other than in the water. But you see another of these wheeled vehicles driving around, and they seem to be not having too much difficulty. They're not, of course, driving at high speed. Stepping out of the ship, you do note that it because of the thick grass, it is easy to, if you're not careful, to trip over a bump or possibly twist an ankle. But if you're careful, you should be okay. Let's see. And so probably about a good 5-minute drive from the camp is where this stand or where the ruins are. And this was seen by orbit. There, even after all of this time, there are sections of these buildings that are still poking up out of the site. And most of the scientific crew, basically, there's a bunch of archaeologists and paleontologists that are down here that are going over this site with a fine-tooth comb. So you are at the base camp. Like I said, a 5-minute drive. Probably even shorter than that if you take the Vendara because it flies. What do you guys want? Are you doing anything particular at the base camp before heading over there, or what?
Well, if we have giant corn everywhere, maybe we should get it tested for compatibility with our digestive system and
Yeah.
get
Okay.
some free corn, get some free wheat.
Okay. So.
Our Vendara is one with the lab in it, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You've got. It's basically a
Little flying.
It's a flying
platform.
ATV. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like that. It's not the flatbed. It's the one. It's the full shebang one.
Well, in that lab right there, that's in the Vendara, we can definitely kind of fly around and collect.
Yeah.
Corn, wheat.
Well, I mean, there
Whatever.
are wheat stalks and this corn, like all around you. You just right now you could just reach out and grab some. Looking at this corn, Mel, make a just roll 2d plus your intellect modifier. Okay. So looking at this corn, it looks like pictures that you have seen of and what would be considered an ancient variety that was found on Earth a long time ago, called maize.
Yeah, man, this is an ancient site. This place has been set up much like Earth by the ancients, and I gotta think anything that we find on here will have similarities to Earth for the most part. That's my theory. Nothing's made me go against it. Makes me want to find more ancient shit though.
Mel, go ahead and make a electronic sensors plus intellect or education.
I don't have it, though. I mean, I've got electronics, not sensors.
So electronic sensors. Yep.
So that's just electronics. Didn't do well.
No, that's fine. So the bioscanner sniffs the maize, and it comes back as completely edible.
Yeah. I hope we're sending a directive to fucking loot this fucking food and
Yeah, I mean,
fill
That
it.
was
I
definitely
mean,
my plan.
yeah.
and the same is said for the wheat. This is a different form. You're finding more than just wheat too. Quinoa and wheat, and all of this appears to be more or less earth varieties of grains, grasses, and what have you. Um,
That's good shit.
you also see in the distance herds of these.
Ew.
Look at all that ivory contraband just on the hoof.
I mean, elephant tastes like chicken, right?
Man, I've ooh, that tusk though, 5D. Um, um,
Yes. Yeah.
man, I still think it would be cool to try to ride one.
So, as you guys are kind of you're seeing these herds of mammoth ranging around, and you're kind of gawking at these earth-like grains and grasses. um, a couple of scientists come up, and they and following close behind them. Where's her name? It's funny because I just read this. I forgot her name already. That's how important she is. Here it is. So, a couple of the scientists come up along with the security advisor, Jana Arekia. If you guys have met her before,
Yeah.
Lieutenant Major Jana Arekia. And these scientists come up and they're like, commanders, may we have a moment? And she's following probably about 3 paces behind him. She's going to be a part of this conversation. And the scientists come up and they are requesting to they kind of point off in the plains, generally in basically towards the lowlands of this mountain range that ends up making up the high valley. And they're pointing to these hill lands, and you can see that there are. I mean, using binoculars and whatnot, you can see that there are several herds of mammoths off in that direction. And what they are requesting is they want to essentially go and set up a blind type outpost with no contact from vehicles. And they essentially want to hunker down in this wildlife blind for a couple of days. And their thought is that if there's no vehicles, there won't be anything to scare the wildlife away, and that way they can get closer, direct contact with these animals, and they can research them a little bit better. Now, Jana Arekia, when she comes up, she says, this plan concerns me." She says, "I don't like the idea of leaving parties exposed, especially if they don't have a vehicle." And everybody's kind of looking at you as, you know, the mission scientists are looking at you kind of like with the "please can we" kind of look.
Well, how about this? How about you have 2 camps, one with the blind, and then one that is 5 minutes away by vehicle, and then you have some security type, first responder type people at the camp with the vehicle, and the other people that are just kind of out there. I mean, worst case scenario, then you've only got to survive 5 minutes, and help can be there, and you're not truly isolated, but the mammoths won't know. I mean, 5 minute. I mean, 5 minutes in a fucking a hover type vehicle, I mean, you can go a long fucking way.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. Yeah. So you bring that up, Jana, Lieutenant Major Jana Arecchia. She kind of shrugs her shoulders. She says, "Yeah, I would feel a lot better about that. If we at least had some kind of rescue plan in place to pick these people up so that we don't lose anybody."
those big ass fucking mammoths, though. I mean, I definitely want people to have gauze rifles with heap rounds.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Okay. She
Yep.
gives a big thumbs up. She goes, "Can do." Pull out the big guns. Can do.
Yeah, I mean that thing. Those things are fucking elephants, man. I mean, you don't shoot them with snubs.
Right. Good point. Okay.
And I mean, we've yet to really locate the predators here, and they've got to have some.
True. And so one of the scientists, when you say that, one of the scientists says, well, the probe detected what looked like saber-toothed tigers, but we haven't seen any since we got down here. But they have found there are, and one of the scientists tells you that you should be careful walking around be careful where you step when you're walking around the grass, because they have found these small lizards about the size of your hand. Some maybe a little bit bigger, about the size of your forearm, but they are quite territorial and will snap and hiss and.
Are they venomous?
They don't know yet.
Oh, I mean,
Check the head. It's a diamond shape.
yeah. I mean, someone should at least shoot a couple of them and make sure they're not venomous. And if they are venomous, then you have the venom. That's the key to making the antidote. People should be doing that now.
Okay, so they yes sir, and they move off to make sure that they can collect specimens of these lizards so that they can make sure that this is taken care of. So Jana Arecchia, she says, "Oh well, I was coming over here not just to voice my concerns about the scientists and their plans." She says, "I came over here to escort you to the ruins, if that's all right. If you want to see them close up."
Haven't had a good escort in a long time, Jana.
I don't know that she's got a sense of humor. She probably just looks at you like she doesn't get the joke.
Well, that don't mean I don't have to get it.
Is there anything else at base camp that anybody wants to do before heading off to the ruins?
No.
No. All right. So she, do you guys want to take your Vendara, or do you want to take one of the wheeled vehicles? She's got a Ranger ready to go.
I mean, why wouldn't we take the Vendara with the air conditioning and the?
Well, I mean, the Ranger has all that too. Yeah, this is the Ranger. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, man. Why drink and drive when you can smoke and fly?
All right, so yeah, she can handle either one. Did anybody else want to drive, or do you want her to drive? I mean, you're not gonna have to worry. You're on open plains. You shouldn't have to worry about crashing. I mean, it doesn't matter either way.
I'm gonna be a backseat driver the whole time and just be like, "Hey, watch out for that! Hey, don't turn over here now."
Right?
Oh hell yeah! So I'm turn the volume up on fucking Pappy's mic so it, gets in her ear real good. I'm sure don't they have like headphones where we're all talking and shit?
Probably, but I mean it's a pretty nice sealed compartments. I mean,
oh yeah,
the hover motorhome. So she hops in and you guys take off. And as you're approaching, you can see that the buildings that are poking up through the silt appears to be whatever was a really tall building, or in other cases, probably a multi-story, really wide building that has collapsed. That's the only real parts that are sticking up. And the other thing that you note, well, everybody make a recon plus intellect check.
9. Oh.
Okay, so Mel and Sarda, you note that these buildings, or the parts that are there, none of them, nothing's square. Nothing comes to a sharp angle. Everything is rounded, and the parts that are sticking up look like they are made of like some kind of concrete. Pappy and Bocephus, you have well, Bocephus has seen this kind of architecture before firsthand. But Pappy, you recognize this from some of the Hollow documentaries that you've watched in the past about ancient sites that have been found in charted space that archaeologists have been researching. And of course, these documentaries that are released to the public, they're not giving all the full details, but they can't tell everything that is found. But the real truth is, most stuff that's found is nobody knows what it does. Nobody knows what it is. But all of the buildings that have been found in the past really very much resemble this. Bocephus, you've seen this firsthand, as has Sarda, but Sarda just hasn't really put two and two together, seeing it half buried. You saw these on way back on the moon Alpha, the abandoned site that had the initial carvings on it, where the telepathic droid carvings were. These buildings look almost identical to those. Essentially, what it looks like is they took like fusion guns or plasma guns, and they level out a section of rock and collect that rock and somehow form it into this concrete, and they can shape it in any way that they wanted. Ancients' technology. And so you're seeing a series of these, kind of just, some are sticking up maybe, 5-10 feet above the soil. Others, at first glance, when you look at it, it looks like a muddy, mossy hill, but you see like a piece of or part of this wall sticking out. And then about probably about another 5-minute ground drive, so probably about a minute and a half, 2 minutes by Vendara, you can see that there's a large area where the grass isn't necessarily growing. And flying over the Vendara, you can see that there are what appears to be overgrown roads through the city, but you don't see any roads leading off out of the city. Everything is internal to this, what was the city. But you do see one road leading off to the city, about 5 minutes by ground, off to a large flattened area where the grass doesn't seem to want to grow. It's just this big flattened area. When I say big, like it's big enough that you could land maybe a 1,000-ton starship.
Well, that would be a good place to bring our scout and set it down.
Yeah.
Over here, we got a high degree chance that there's going to be fucking ancient technology around here. And if you go touching and poking and turning random shit on, there's no fucking telling, what the fuck. You could, there might be offensive fucking androids around here, or I mean, just beware. You know, there's shit we might not be able to find on a scanner that possibly could be here. There's a higher form of technology probably around.
So, so she kind of does a circle, and she tells you, she says she goes, I'm not an archaeologist, but she says from what I understand, what they're telling me is, it looks like the people that built this city, or rather lived in this city, were pretty much typical what you would see with a colony. Probably there's no roads leading out because they had no reason to expand yet, and really probably no desire. But she kind of points to certain areas. You can see that the city was built around central and a couple of secondary hubs. It seems that the taller buildings were spaced apart that would create green areas in between the buildings of the city. And like I said, you can see evidence of some roads at ground level, and you even see what looks like a partially bent and collapsed rail line for a light rail network that leads out to the large flat area. And I mean, looking at this flattened area, it is to all of, especially Pappy, this looks like the typical landing field that would be used for like a small colony. And just then, your communications are starting to spam a signal GK. Like, and it's like somebody is hitting the button over and over and over and over and over for an emergency beacon. Let me tell you a little story about the Battle of Avan's Finger. One of the crew members exploring the ruins of the hominid city is a man named Avan Treskel. His task is a simple one, entirely within his capabilities. He is assigned to drive around the perimeter conducting measurements at intervals. This required only that he scramble up on top of his vehicle and slowly wave a handheld scanner around in a 360-degree arc. Indeed, it was simplicity in this task that was his undoing. Vaughn became bored and complacent, vaulting recklessly down from the top of his vehicle, and when he landed on the ground, he turned his ankle on uneven ground. He fell. Plunging face first into a stand of proto-maze would usually be no big deal on any other day, but Avan startled a small reptile that bit him. The way his luck was running, it was no surprise that the reptile is venomous. Not only that, but the vicious little bastard bit his finger clean off. In a state of shock, Vaughn crawled under the vehicle and spammed his emergency beacon until he was assured that help would be on its way. He then promptly passed out. And so Vaughn is laying underneath his vehicle, missing one of his fingers, unconscious. But basecamp has already answered his distress call and told him that they will be sending an emergency team on their way. Here's the problem. So the emergency team, it would take them 2D minutes to board a Vendara and get to him. Let's see.
We're going to have to go.
Yeah, it's going to take 2 minutes to get to him, and meanwhile he's passed out, missing a finger, and is poisoned. You guys are on site.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
The name of this game is Dumb Shit Crew that you've got to fucking babysit for 20 years.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she puts the pedal to the metal.
Oh. You might as well have said, you have to stop what you're doing and go do this side quest.
So she puts the pedal to the metal, and she kind of banks a little bit too hard and skips off of the ground. She was coming in for a landing and turned too fast. Not a big deal. It probably like a bent fender or whatever it is that's on a Vendara, but it flies just fine. And she gets you there in 3 minutes. And this is what the site. Wrong button. This is what the site looks like. Find it. Oh, I have a. There's a closer up picture. Oh no.
Snacks are required. Right back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. This is the closer up picture of the Menagerie Plains.
Okay.
So you can see it's like kind of at the confluence of these rivers here is where the ruins of the city are.
Back.
All right. So you guys get to this site, and you can see that. I mean, there is a small. Well, I guess this would be more like a creek here, and you can see that there are some a couple of mastodon or mammoths that are moving around on the other side of the river. They don't. Mammoths don't seem to really get scared away by the vehicle coming in. They seem pretty. They seem pretty docile. They're okay. Meanwhile, you do find the scarier that he was driving around for his mission, and he is passed out beneath it. What do you guys want to do? What's your plan here?
I mean, everybody needs to fucking look for the fucking lizards
Okay.
while I go fucking, do the medical bit.
Okay.
Maybe have Jana pick the vehicle up over him with the fucking arm of the shit.
I never would have thought of that. Let me. I don't know. Can you do that? Let's see. What does it say this arm is? I know it's got one. It says. Uh,
Anybody else have any ideas? Feel free to
so
top in.
It says the co-driver position can operate a manipulator arm located externally on the left side of the rear compartment, which can lift objects into the rear of the vehicle. So it must be able to pick up something fairly heavy. It is also possible to use the arm to pass relatively light items to the co-driver through his open door and thence by hand to the science station. This rather crude method is at odds with the overall sophistication of the vehicle, but can be refined to great efficiency by a skilled crew. Yeah, sure. You can use it to right the vehicle. I don't see why not.
Let's just make sure we don't crush him in the meantime.
Yeah.
Well, That just means he gets more cybernetics.
Let's go ahead and have everybody roll initiative, and that way we can see where you're going to fall in the stack. Okay. All right, so
I gotta turn the heat up.
I hear that.
I'm like, look, this ain't no damn plane. I didn't go in first.
So Bocephus kind of says, "We need to find the lizards." And so Mel, what are you doing?
Well, are there any lizards?
You can make a recon plus intellect check.
It does seem like finding, creating anti-venom seems to be a good idea.
Probably, yeah.
All right, am
Oh,
I doing something wrong? Because my rolls are getting nuts the last 2 weeks.
yeah, that's a good roll. No, that is just a good roll. You don't find a lizard, but you find the bit off finger.
All right.
Do you have?
Like,
I mean, what do you want to do with the finger? You can examine the finger, or you can hand it to Bocephus. Be like, here you go. It's up to you what you want to do with the finger.
Well, I guess try to get it on. I mean, I don't have any ice packs on me necessarily. We got to get it on ice and then get it to.
You would be able to do that in the Vendara. I mean, you've got a lab there. It's got to have some kind of refrigeration technology.
I mean, where else were you keeping the ice cream?
Right, you know.
That does make sense.
You notice as you grab I don't know how you're grabbing the finger, but you when you look at it, I mean, obviously it doesn't look well. I mean, it's a severed finger, but around the chomp down end, you can see that it is discolored, and not like red, from a bite wound or a cut mark. It's like slightly dark. Like if it's left a little longer, you would expect it to go black.
Oh man.
Well, that can't be good. Gotta get
No, that's fucked up right there. Mhm.
So you're gonna put the finger on ice. Sarda, what are you doing?
So he's still under the vehicle, right?
Yeah, Bocephus is checking on him.
Okay.
Well, we can see. Let's see.
So I'll start figuring out how to hook this sucker up to the
arm. Okay.
To try to lift it out.
Okay. So I would say to use the arm, we can just go with
remote ops.
Yes. Do a remote ops, electronics remote ops plus dex check.
All right. 11.
Nice. So as Bocephus is rushing over, this arm on the Vendara comes down, grabs this truck, and kind of lifts it up and moves it out of the way. Bocephus, you get to this guy. You see the same thing where the finger's bit off at the knuckle joint.
I'm gonna put a tourniquet on his high bicep.
Okay.
And fucking cut all that circulation right the fuck on off.
Okay. Go ahead and make a medic plus education check. Education.
Okay. Yeah, my education's 12. That's +2. All right. 15.
Oh, yes. And that was with the additional +3, right? For your med kit?
No, then 18.
18. Okay. So, yeah, you get the tourniquet tightened, and you note that the as you are tightening you tighten the tourniquet and shut off the circulation, and you note that the stump where the finger is almost immediately starts to turn darker as soon as you cut off circulation.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Pappy, what are you doing?
Make sure it's below his heart.
I'm slowly walking
Yeah.
around with a gun out, just looking for something that's gonna try and bite me. I'm like, why the hell did I come along with these damn people?
make a recon plus intellect check.
Recon. Oh, there it is. Recon plus intellect.
Nothing. Okay. You're
See? I'm like, I shouldn't be here. Some tall ass grass. I'm used to space rocks and ships, the things that make sense.
well, I will say maybe nothing. Yep, nothing. You don't see shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess that a saber-toothed tiger ambushes one of us motherfuckers soon. That's my guess. Let's see what happens. If that's what you had it lined up, you got to go with it though, because that's just a guess. First, the tiger jumps out from behind the bush and eats one of us, and then while we're trying to fuck with that, a lizard fucks around and bites another motherfucking. Oh, it's gonna be great. And then the fucking mammoths are gonna go in a stampede and run us all over.
You know, I'd almost think that Wes has been playing with me for a while.
I mean, we just assume bad things are gonna happen, okay?
Right? Yes.
Well, I mean, the religion that Bocephus has is like, when four more crewmates get together, something mystic and magic will happen in the universe, and one of us is getting fucked up every time. Something fucked up happens when, us core members. If we would just all separate with insignificant fucking crew members, nothing would ever happen.
All right. Mel, what are you doing?
Our life depends on you, Bell. I don't know how.
I'm trying to figure that out. I mean, so I found the finger.
You did. And you put it in the Vendara.
Okay. So I guess now I'm going to go back out on the hunt to find a live lizard.
Okay. Go ahead and make
Still need the anti-venom, right? So
go ahead and make a recon plus intellect check.
$11.
Okay, you find a lizard.
Dun dun dun.
And I mean, almost as immediately you see it as it sees you, and it's kind of hiding in a tuft of grass, and it's got the little flaps that come out, and it flaps them out and starts hissing at you. You also notice you hear a twig snap over in this direction. Or not a twig.
Wait.
maybe
Sweet. Got a tiger moving in on me.
a snap of a cob of corn snaps in half. So yeah, you find this lizard. What do you want to do with it? I'm just gonna go over and pet it.
I'm gonna stand here and wish that I had some sort of stunning device that I definitely didn't carry.
Hmm.
That's Sarda's thing.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
Why isn't
he's
Sarah
the
looking for
stunner.
this fucking thing?
Yeah.
It's not my turn. I can't see it.
I I would say, let's see here. Go ahead and roll 2d plus your intellect check.
I assure you, Bocephus didn't bring a stunner. That's against his religion.
You did not bring a stunner with you.
Well, improvise using a bag as a net.
Okay.
Oh hell yeah!
This isn't a Komodo dragon, right? This is like
No. This lizard's maybe a
little.
little bit bigger than your hand.
You got this, Mel.
Like that finger was probably going to be a pretty damn good meal for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What should I roll for that?
good. I'm going to say make a melee unarmed plus your choice, either strength or dex. I think this is going to be a grapple check.
7.
Okay, you dump everything
Rolls
out of
have come back down to earth.
you dump everything out of your bag and you land on this thing and scoop it up into your bag and shut the bag. And this bag's it's like, have you ever put a cat in a pillowcase? That's what this looks like. This bag's just rustling around all over the place. Sarda, what are you doing?
He's mutant.
He got it, so I don't need to stun it, right?
Yeah, it's in his bag. Clearly,
All
it's
right.
alive.
Bocephus has already treated this guy first aid.
Well, he put a tourniquet on him.
All right, well, let's actually try to give him first aid, right?
Okay, so you can move on over there. Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and make a medic plus education check.
This is what happens when you don't let don't let the doctor do first aid. 3, 2 1s.
Oof. Oof.
He's gonna go into fucking anaphylactic shock or some shit.
He is already in shock.
Oh, you killed him, Sarda.
That happens.
It's okay.
That's what happens when you fuck around, don't know how to drive.
Yeah.
He's not dead, but you do note that his condition is worsening. He's getting, of course, pale, sweating. His pulse rate's really high, and that stump is now, it has gone from being inflamed and red from having a finger bitten off to now it is starting to turn like a greenish dark brown color. Bocephus, what are you doing?
Man, I really need to fucking hit this motherfucker with a slow drug or something to slow the poison down. I don't know if that'd be covered in doing the fucking first aid to try to fix his dumb first aid thing. I mean, when I was doing the tourniquet, I was really kind of doing the first aid, just role playing it out more than anything else. But
I don't. So slow drug is
I mean a fast drug.
a fast drug. Either one of those can be very dangerous in the field. Pulls user into a state can suspended animation. Fast drug is normally used to prolong life support reserves or as a cheap substitute for cryobirth. Yeah, you could hit him with the fast drug. It's not the slow drug's the one that's dangerous because like your metabolic rate goes so high that you can basically just cook the body.
Yeah, but this, I mean, they're named fucked up, but
Right, they're
slows
reverse
his
of what they.
metabolism.
Yeah.
Yeah, by a 60-to-1 ratio. I got to think that's got to slow the poison and kind of put him in a chill state. So
Sure.
I'm gonna hit him with this fucking fast drug
Okay.
and be like, you know, starter, this is not the time for the rectal thermometer. I just don't know what the fuck.
So you hit him with the fast drug. Make another medic plus education check.
That's +6, so 15.
Okay, so it says. So, ironically, the venom is so the stump on his hand, and Mel would suspect the finger that's in the icebox are both suffering from the venom, which is kind of exacerbated by the lack of circulation. Meaning that it's localized to that area, or anything really.
No.
The damage is localized to that area. The longer that it's in this state, the worse it's going to get, and less likely you would have of being able to reattach a finger, possibly not even being able to attach a cybernetic replacement.
I'm gonna cut his fucking hand off next round. I'm like, cut his hand off, Sarda. Well, he's next. I mean,
With what?
Man, we've got hatchets and shit.
That's true. You've got the machetes that you're using to cut through the jungle. Here, hold on. I'll use this dirty
Does
machete.
not seem like an adequate surgical instrument.
Happy.
Oh, yeah.
This
dude's
is starting to sound like a game of paranoia. Pappy, what are you doing?
Happy. Shit. Like, I don't do medical stuff. I'm probably just like, hey, man, put it in the bag. Get that thing away from me. Shit. I'm still looking around for something dangerous at this point because I don't mess with the medical stuff. So I'm just looking around for something dangerous.
Okay.
I'm watching out because these three look panicked, and I'm like, this is right where we gonna get jumped. This is how we get jumped. So I'm looking around again. Can I make another recon?
Yes, you can. Make another recon plus intellect check.
This is exactly where shit goes south.
Well, the good news
Hell
is
yeah.
that was your minor action.
I don't like the way you said that.
That
Well-
means you get a fucking shoot your gun. Or, do something else. Oh, hell yeah. Saber-toothed tiger. Da-da-da-da-da. Gonna eat you up. Eat you up.
So you do spot that sound of the corn on the cob snapping in half that came from down here was because there was a Smilodon that stepped on one. You also noticed that there was this one over here that looked like it was hunkered down and is apparently stalking Sarda. What do you want to do, Pappy? You've got a significant action.
I'm shooting the one
Or
that
technically two minor actions if you want to just run, but there you have a significant action.
Pappy don't run for no fight. If I can slightly reposition myself, I want to shoot the one going for starter because I probably don't have a great line of sight on it right now.
Sure. Yep, you can do that.
Starter, duck. And you said it was where? I
It-
saw it coming from which way?
It is right over here.
Oh, I do have a good line of sight on
Yes.
it. But like, how high is this wall?
I mean, it's barely sticking up out of the silt. So maybe it's maybe, I don't know, anywhere from 6 inches to a foot.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna be like, Sarda, you got trouble, and then fire my. I probably didn't bring my good gun, so I probably just have like the pistol.
You could have your good gun. You guys can
I
have
did say, yeah, I said
yeah,
to grab fucking big guns.
and as
Oh,
far
okay.
you're not wearing. I mean, these guys haven't been wearing their HEV hostile environment suits because that would be overkill as far as that goes. But so for Pappy, and a reminder to anybody, in the journal, the third button on the right at the top, if you search for chart, I put a whole bunch of stuff in here for charts. If you are wearing any particular armor, probably would be under the standard armor chart. Would be if you were wearing anything additional beyond the field dress, the field equipment.
It's hot, so probably not wearing a jacket.
Well, you might. I mean, it is muggy here.
Oh, yeah. I'll wear a vest. That vest sounds good. Exposed arms.
Ballistic vest or Diplo vest? Probably ballistic vest.
Ballistic vest, yes.
Okay, so you've got +4 armor.
I mean, it just makes sense. I wouldn't be like full armor, and I'm not gonna be wearing a ceramic carapace or something, you know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're not going into combat. This isn't really a major security situation. Or should
I imagine
be.
look like one of the dudes from Predator carrying the big gun is dead in the trees. I saw it.
Right. Right. So what is your big gun?
Big gun. I like the laser one, so I'm carrying my laser backpack.
Okay.
Never leave home without it.
Okay. Take your shot.
Since I'm only use one minor action, do I get one more to aim is at it?
No. Just a signal.
Okay.
You can either use 2 minor actions and essentially run or run and hide or something like that, or you can use 1 significant action to take a shot.
Significant action it is.
A 10 is a hit. Oof, 20 damage? Holy shit.
Look, man, Pappy don't play about stuff coming for him.
Evidently
Pappy got
not.
the big gun.
So effect of 2. So technically, this is 22 points of damage. Okay.
Overkill.
No, it isn't. Pappy sees this and lights it up, and this laser goes out and hits this saber-toothed tiger, and you can see some of its fur catch on fire, the whole bit, and it lets out a screeching roar. I don't think it wants anything to do with that, to be quite honest. Yeah, it is smarter than that. Yeah, right about here. Now, it gets lit on fire and runs away.
Damn it, that could have been food.
Cat, do you have white meat?
We definitely have to do a big nub party.
This one
Eat a
is going to take a swipe at Pappy.
Oh, Pappy. We can build you back stronger.
A 10.
Oof.
I don't remember how that works. It's been so long since something hit me.
If you had a blade out and you have blades 3, you could technically successfully parry.
You could attempt to parry, yeah. You are now in melee, so the most you can do with that laser rifle is use
Dodge.
a club. If you
He could dodge.
you could
which
dodge.
would
Yeah.
add your bonus in defense. But
Yes.
unless it's 3 or more, it's not going to do much.
Yeah, let's see. Well, it could reduce. Let's see here.
Yeah, but I mean, you're reducing 18 damage to 17. I mean, what's your dex bonus?
1, I think.
Yeah, so you can reduce the damage from 18 to 17 if you chose to dodge during your reaction.
Yes.
And that 3 armor did nothing for me.
Well,
It'll help as well.
we haven't got there yet. So
It'll help as well. But yeah, it reduces the. So you got a 10 to hit you, and so dodging drops that to a 9. If you could drop it to 7, you'd miss. But with a 9, he only does 2 bonus damage instead of 3.
right.
Yes, my dexterity modifier is 1.
Yeah.
So 17 if you're gonna dodge, but if you dodge, you'll be at -2 for all of your next actions. Oh
I
wait,
mean,
in the same round they can dodge. No, you wouldn't be. You'd be fine. So 17, and you've got what did we say that was? 4, I believe.
Most of those vests are 4, I think. The ballistic vest.
So
the
ballistic
ballistic
vest
vest
is
is
+4. So okay.
Yeah.
So let's
I'm just
see.
gonna start wearing my fucking vac suit everywhere.
Walking down the street. I'm gonna wear my back.
Well, it's got all the cameras built into it. Every
That's
time
true.
I show up with just the Diplo vest, I've got no cameras anywhere.
That's true.
So
That's true. So that reduces it to 13, which puts it comes
Did I
off.
die?
So how much do you have for endurance?
This is like the first time I've actually had to look at all these stats.
Right.
Okay, endurance is a prime thingy. Oh no, endurance is it's 0 modifier, a rating of 7.
So you have 7 for endurance. So
Yes.
your endurance right now is 0.
I'm dead.
There are 6
No.
points. There are 6 points left to come off. Those points can come off of strength or dexterity. Where do you want to start with that?
I'm dead.
no. So what's your dex and what's your strength?
Strength is 6, dex is 9.
So you take it off dex and you're fine. You're still conscious.
Yeah, or you could take 3 off of strength, and I wouldn't recommend that. But you could take
You
3
can't
off of
do that. You can't mix them up. It's one or the other. It has to be a single stat.
It doesn't say that, and in fact, there are multiple adventures where they take them off of multiple stats.
Oh, okay. I thought it rolled all to one
I
stat.
thought it did too, but
That was before the update, I think.
there's been a couple of older adventures that I've read from before the update where NPCs are taking it off of multiple stats. So, I mean, if you take the 6 off of your dex, that would leave you with a dex of 3.
Which means you're conscious.
Right.
Okay.
If the second stat drops to 0, you go unconscious. That's why usually you want to
Correct.
take it from the big one.
Right.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
Sure. So I have an endurance of 0 and dex of 3.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which puts your dex at -1 for now.
We got your back, Pappy. Don't worry, man.
Okay.
Even if you die, I could hit you with a trauma pack and bring you right back. So
Up here.
Damn Saber Cat did more damage to me than all the things with the lasers.
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird the way it's worded because it just says then any excess damage is deducted from either the target's strength or dex.
Right.
Target's choice of which. And so I always thought that meant all or nothing.
That's what I thought too. But like I said, I was reading well, I can't give away too many details because it is something that's upcoming. But I was reading it, and there was an example where an NPC, if they get damaged, they split it up, and I was like, well, you can't do that, can you? Evidently, you can't. So, okay.
Well, hell yeah.
I mean, that
That's
that
good.
that gives you guys a little bit more longevity, I guess. So,
Yeah.
this guy up here. Going to pounce on an effluent and fucking miss. But
Oh, it is gonna stampede the elephant. Oh, you fucker. That's okay.
The last time we went walking in the jungle, we had suits on. Now we're saying we have much lighter armor on because we were just taking a little scenic trip.
So
You
it's
Yeah.
you strip down to your tank tops and with shorts.
well, you
and
guys
went out
didn't. You guys didn't have
walked
your.
around.
You guys didn't have your HEV suits on.
No, I've never worn an HEV suit. I don't own one.
Well, that's a hostile environment suit.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
I typically never
Yeah.
wear one.
Yeah, no. When you were in the jungle, you were wearing pretty much basic stuff, but nobody got hit. So I guess it never really came up. He misses, and the elephant. Wow, they are slow. Are like nope and out. That one goes all the way off. This one. You know what? He's gonna tusk him. I think he's probably pissed. And misses. The saber-toothed tiger deftly dodges. There's a pretty epic wildlife battle going on up there. Mel, what do you want to do?
Unleash with my standard.
Sure. You want to go full auto?
Fuck yes, I'm just gonna launch on this bastard.
Okay. So, that's a SM. Is that a Gauss SMG?
Yes.
Okay.
Why didn't it work?
Let's see here. So it is AP3 Auto 4. Let's see. That did hit for 16.
Oh fuck. I was scrolled up. I'm like, why didn't any of my results come through?
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Hey.
So that's your second shot misses, but not terribly. Third shot. That is
Ooh.
a hit.
31.
And fourth shot. That's another hit. Oh, okay. So Mel goes full Rambo on this thing and just chews this Smilodon up and does it without hitting Pappy, and it just kind of rolls over in front of Pappy as Pappy's sitting there with a big rip through his ballistic vest.
We better have a taxidermist on board.
Right, yeah, you're going to mount that in your stateroom. Sarda, what are you doing?
Forgive me. How many rounds was that?
So that would be, let's see, what did I say? AP4. So that would be 16 rounds, or
Okay.
I'm gonna let Bocephus do the first aid and just focus on.
well, I mean, I don't think that I mean, unless you're sticking your finger in the wound and wiggling it around, I don't think you can make it any worse.
I'm talking about for Mel, right?
Or for Pappy.
For Pappy, sorry, for Pappy. As I'm talking about for
Yeah.
Pappy.
Yeah.
I'll let Bocephus heal him. So I'm just gonna start loading everything back in the truck so that we can get the fuck out of here.
Okay. So it says full auto. Full auto uses a number of rounds equal to 3 times the auto. So 12 rounds.
12.
All right. I always thought that was weird. Like, so burst uses a number of rounds equal to the auto score, but full auto uses the auto score times 3. And I'm like, so full auto would be 12 rounds. Yeah, no, I guess that makes sense. So you guys can see that there is a Mutual of Omaha type epic episode going on up to the north of you. And Sarda, you're loading everything up into the Vendara, getting ready to get the hell out of there. And you see Jana hop in, and she's getting everything ready. Bocephus, what are you doing?
I'm gonna run over to Pappy and be like, "Holy shit, man! What the fuck?" uh, and I'm gonna perform first aid, which is 13.
Another
so
plus 3
what,
is
5?
Another plus 3 from the med kit. That's 16.
Oh fuck yeah! So that's 16. So that's 8 points of healing
Yes. So
damage.
Pappy, you get to add 8 back to. It has to go to Dex first until you hit max.
8 back to my dex.
So your Dex was 9, right? And you're down at 3.
Yeah, it was down 6. It's back up to normal now.
Okay, and then whatever's left over can go to endurance.
Alrighty. I have it. I just used the temporary thing to like take stats down.
Yes.
I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally makes sense.
So my endurance is down. My modifier is still a -2, and I have an endurance of 2 now.
Okay. Yes, that would be correct. So you are still in need of, well, you're not down 2 stats, so you're not in need of surgery or anything like that, but you are still pretty messed up.
He'll make an endurance check, right? And then he get like tomorrow, and then under the healing rules.
Yes.
And then like you'll get to add some from the med bay.
Yes.
And shit.
Correct.
And,
yeah, bed rest and medical care adds all to that. I think the med bay will add what +3, I want to say.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So you rush over. You are doing first aid on Pappy. Pappy, while he's doing first aid on you, I guess you're just letting him do it. I mean, there's not much else you can do.
I'm back. Mortimer, we're back.
Yeah.
Up here to the north. Well, that's a hit. Okay. -1 from that. Mammoth. Hey, the mammoth got lucky. And I don't mean he found a female mammoth.
Oof.
You see this mammoth tusk, this Smilodon, just kind of toss it, and you can. There's blood splattering out of it. Mel, what are you doing?
Well, we've got across the water. Probably not going to worry overly much about this prehistoric ice age shit going on north of the river.
Everybody knows that saber-toothed tigers fear water.
They're like vampires.
They're like vampires.
They
can't cross running water.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. It tracks. So right now I'm thinking, well, maybe we do start to close because I've already got a dead Smilodon ready to get stuffed. We'll have it fucking fighting a goddamn mammoth.
That's true. If you just wait, you might have steaks.
Well, if I can't help with the first aid, I'm going to make sure that. Well, I didn't fall. I just turned and fired. We've already taken the finger in the thing. Now I need to deposit the lizard, right?
Yes.
What we came here for. I need to deposit that, and then when things calm down, I'm gonna go get my fucking trophy.
Okay, so you're depositing the lizard in the Vendara. Sarda, you've got pretty much everything loaded up. I'm taking it that you probably loaded uh, dipshit up.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you doing?
If everybody's in, I'm buckling up. We're getting out of here.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Jana lifts off, and rushes you guys back to the base camp. Um,
But we're taking that dead saber-toothed tiger cat, though, right?
yes, you've got the dead saber tooth, and I mean, looking at this thing, it looks like you are looking at a living, well, no longer living, but you're looking at these things up close. You are seeing living history right in front of your eyes. This is from, like, it is even hitting, well, probably not Bocephus, but it's hitting the Pappy and Mel and Sarda like on a genetic primal level, that this is something from humanity's deep past. Um, and I mean, now it's probably making a mess on the floor of your Vendara, but Jana gets you guys back to your base camp. And Bocephus, what are you doing? I mean, you've got the finger and you've got a living lizard.
Yeah, I want to ask Sarda to stun the lizard.
Okay. I would think that you would be able to.
Yeah, shoot it a couple times.
Yeah, you can zap it. It's not like that backpack's going to really give it an armor rating. So you
right, and then while it's
that thing freezer for about 15 minutes.
Yeah,
it'd be nice to slow down.
That's true too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that it's stunned, I want to go ahead and get its venom. Make sure it's sedated.
Okay.
And get its venom, and then I want to make an antidote to the venom, and then maybe try to save dude's hand and finger.
Okay. Let's see here. I
half-assed just want to cut his arm off and put another one on, but whatever.
Your choice. You can make a science biology, or I guess Xenon. No, it's not. Yeah, I would say either your choice, either science biology plus education, or animal veterinary plus education.
No, I don't have that veterinary really done up, so.
The dolphin man doesn't have veterinary. I mean, isn't that just medic? You're treating humans. Fuck animals.
Kinda, but I got a 12 using the.
Okay. So you extract some venom, and you are working on creating an antidote. What are the? I mean, this is on the car ride back. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm probably mumbling something currently about like, "Fun, say what you've got. Kill this person. You're gonna die."
Well, other than planning on what we were going to do, which was go look at the ruins.
Yeah.
In particular, what the hell fell between the islands.
Right. Okay. You guys are able to get back, and Bocephus, you are able to come up with a anti-venom. Go ahead and make a medic plus education check.
13.
Okay, you have saved Avan, but he is obviously going to be he's going to need time in sick bay, in your med bay, and down here at the camp is not ideal.
Okay.
So they can rush him back up to the ship. Are you guys staying here? Or are you going back to Revelation for whatever reason?
Depends on how happy feeling. I mean, because he's kind of in the natural healing stage, you know.
That's
But
true.
those sites of the ancients, man, that's good shit. Man, we can find anything, some type of fucking shielding device, or who fucking knows?
That's true. That is true. So it's up to you guys. Do you guys want to go back to the ship for a day or two and then come back down, or how do you want to do this?
I think we should go back up because we're dealing with poison. We want to try to get an antivenom, whatever, mass produced.
Yeah,
Okay.
need to mass produce the antivenom and recall people out of the area where these fucking lizards and shit are until we're properly equipped.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pappy, go
So-
ahead and make a. You're at -2 for this. Go ahead and make a piloting StarCraft plus Dex check.
Shit.
No, his dex is healed.
Oh, that's right. Your Dex is healed. It's your endurance that you're at -2. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, piloting StarCraft.
Yes. Excellent. So Pappy lifts you guys off. The control gives you clearance for emergency landing, and you guys are back aboard. Revelation. I don't know if Pappy saw this.
Hell is this?
It's a big ass map.
Yes, this is the marine originally the marine operations pods for um, Revelation. They are the mission pods. This is basically your guys' home part of the ship. This all the way over here, it shows what these letters actually mean.
Oh, okay.
And if you scroll down to here, it shows you where individual items are. Number 8 is a med bay, and this is Bocephus' med bay. There are 2 others here. And then these are crew staterooms. Kind of your guys' block of staterooms. So, Pappy.
I don't trust Bocephus Med Bay. He gonna give me dolphin wings.
No.
He's gonna close me.
No, I'm not going to do that. You know, but while we're here, you know, perhaps I could interest you in something nice. Maybe what is that? Reinforced tendons or something?
Oh, yeah. Hold on, I'll look that up. First of all,
Reinforced tendons. Wasn't there a baseball movie like in the 80s where the kid with the
there
young kid
was, yes, and he could like run fast.
throws a frozen rope from center field bleachers?
Yes.
Yes.
It was a kid. It's about something about a pitcher, or pitcher of the year, or something like that. Or now I gotta look it up.
So what is Bocephus's medic skill?
4.
3 -2 is 1.
Rookie of the year.
That's the one. So
There you go.
on the first day, Pappy's going to get back 5 to his endurance.
Oh, I get endurance back already?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we're calling it that day.
If 5 is what I got back, then I'm back to normal.
Okay, so basically 1 day of medical care, but you are offering him,
Muscular bridging.
That's the one. Let's see here.
It's on page 53 of the Central Supply Catalog.
Yes, muscular bridging. Yeah, it gives a +1 strength, +1 dex, and an additional +3 meters of movement.
Yeah.
I got a what? You did a what to me?
Well,
Through surgery and a long, painful recovery. Right.
yeah, he wouldn't be flying for a while.
Right. The process lasting 1D weeks. This augment adds thousands of microscopic protein strings to the traveler's muscular system, making every muscle stronger and more flexible. This increases the traveler's strength and dex by 1 and movement by 3 meters per minor action. This augmentation is not affected by electromagnetic and detectable by electronic means.
So are you saying that my strength and dex just went up by 1?
Well, he's giving that as an option. If you want to go under the knife, he can give you muscular bridging.
Yeah. While we're here, you should let me work on all your muscles and make you toner and everything.
But you could be down for as long as 6 weeks.
Yeah, you might be down for a while, but it's really just a slight discomfort.
Well, the downside is gaining 1 to strength or dex doesn't actually change my modifier.
Yeah, that's true.
Right,
So
but
I
it'd give you
really
like
got him 3 feet of movement.
It would give you
Right,
an extra +3 meters of movement. Yeah.
so you can move around a lot bit more. Instead of the 6 meters, you're getting 9 per minor action. I was just, I always like to let people have a chance to be the person they could be.
Next time we have to make a jump or something and you want to do some work on me, I'll think about it.
Okay. I
I'm in
mean,
the middle of stuff right now. I don't want to be out of commission for the next few weeks.
Right. I hear you. You could try video tattoo.
Anybody who has science, chemistry, plus education, if you want to work on the venom, you can.
I kind of worked on Pappy and his medical care, didn't I?
Yes.
So then I don't qualify for that.
Would, either science, chemistry, or if you've got the broad skill of science, physical sciences, you can do it that way.
I'm not qualified for any of
jump
those.
space science.
There's the researcher
yes
program.
You could
shit.
you could do that.
Or we could just ask
+3.
one of the many scientists we have on our ship.
Or you could have one of the many
it.
scientists. So yes, we can do that.
Oh yeah, we have a crew. I keep forgetting we have a crew.
So if he's using if the scientist is using the research assistant, that'll be a total of +4. There we go. Yes, he comes up with 5 doses of this anti-venom. I don't know if you guys want to equip that and just start equip each of you with a dose of anti-venom and then start mass producing this last one.
Yeah.
They're just gonna milk the lizard that you caught. Okay.
Yeah. We can do that.
We will pick this up next week with you guys going back down to DTP to poke around in the ruins to see if you can find anything of value in the ruins.
I didn't die.
You didn't die. So we'll pick this up.
Man, yeah. If you want, I can do extra stitches around the wound to make it look bigger for when you're bragging in the bar.
Yeah, he needs the good big old. How about those staples? Could you do the
Fuck
staple?
yeah, man.
Those look really impressive.
Right?
Had a couple staples in there, you know, and then maybe a piercing or something.
Staples look so
Right.
much cooler than that
Perfect.
super glue shit.
Look like
Hell
the,
yeah.
Look like the Kurgan from Highlander.
Yeah, where he had the safety pin stuck in the scar on his neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like one of the claws of the fucking tiger, you know, on a necklace for him to wear.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have to go total, Hawaiian surfer.
Crocodile Dundee.
Instead
Yeah.
of a shark's tooth, he's got a saber-toothed tiger fang hanging from a necklace.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I like it. I like to brag about it all the time.
Yeah.
Landed in the hand-to-hand combat with a saber-toothed cat.
You just leave the part out about Mel shooting him up.
Yes. All right, we will pick this up next week on Friday night at 6:00 PST. And
Hell yeah.
you guys have a
See you
good night.
tomorrow.
I will see Wes and Brian tomorrow.
Good night.
Tomorrow.
Have a good night.
Yep. Glad you're
Okay,
back from
everybody.
Thailand, Brian.
Oh, yeah. Good times.